You think a watch measures time. It doesn't. It measures obedience, control, and fear of being late. Before clocks existed, time was free. After them, it never was again. This is the story of the most silent machine. And the most powerful one humanity ever created. Time always existed. But for most of human history, it was not measured, it was observed. Sunrise marked the beginning of the day, sunset its end. Time was natural, irregular, and beyond human control. The first attempts to measure it were simple. Over 5,000 years ago, Egyptians and Mesopotamians placed sticks in the ground and watched shadows move. Sundials were born. They did not measure exact hours. They reflected the will of the sun. When the sun disappeared, the problem remained. Water clocks emerged. Time began to flow drop by drop. In ancient Greece and Rome, they were even used to limit speeches in courts. Time could now run out. And while Europe still relied on the sun and water, something extraordinary happened in 11th century China. The scholar Su Song oversaw the construction of an unprecedented clock tower, over 12 meters tall, powered by hydraulic energy, incorporating an advanced escapement automata that announced the hours automatically, and a rotating armillary sphere representing the motion of the heavens. It was not merely a clock, but a cosmological machine, capable of measuring time and explaining the sky centuries before comparable systems appeared in Europe. Its destruction and disappearance remind us that the history of timekeeping does not move in a straight line, it also loses and rediscovers knowledge. The true turning point in the West came in the Middle Ages, when time stopped depending on nature and began depending on machines. The first mechanical clocks appeared in European monasteries in the 13th century. They used hanging weights and a key mechanism, the verge and crown escapement, transforming continuous motion into rhythmic beats. Time no longer flowed, it advanced in controlled steps. These clocks were massive, noisy, and inaccurate. They had no hands or dials, only bells. Time was not seen, it was heard. Each chime structured prayer, labor, and rest. Precision did not matter. Discipline did. From this mindset emerged a greater ambition, not only to measure time, but to represent the universe itself. Thus, astronomical clocks were born, displaying the sun, moon, lunar phases, zodiac signs, and yearly cycles through complex gear systems. The Prague astronomical clock, built in the 15th century, did more than tell time. It taught how the universe was believed to function. In an age of faith, the machine did not challenge God, it interpreted him. And unknowingly, it introduced a radical idea. If the universe could be modeled as a machine, perhaps it worked like one. Legend says that after completing the horloge, the authorities ordered the blinding of its creator, Jan Růžička, also known as Jan Rus, to ensure he could never reproduce such a masterpiece elsewhere. Years later, guided by memory and resentment, he is said to have touched the mechanism one final time, stopping the clock entirely. Whether true or not, the story reveals something essential. From early on, clocks were seen not only as technical marvels, but as sources of power capable of inspiring fear. Over time, clocks became smaller and personal. Pocket watches appeared in the 15th century. They were inaccurate, expensive, and symbolic. Owning time mattered more than measuring it. Precision became vital in the 18th century with navigation. Solving longitude saved lives. John Harrison built the first reliable marine chronometer. Time became a scientific tool. Meanwhile, Switzerland rose. French watchmakers fled there, bringing expertise to a resource-poor country forced to specialize. Precision became an obsession. Swiss watchmaking perfected escapements, balances, and calibers. Watches were not assembled, they were calibrated. When quartz technology threatened mechanical watchmaking in the 20th century, Switzerland made a defining choice: stop competing on utility and compete on meaning. The watch became heritage, identity, permanence. Yet superstition never disappeared. In many cultures, gifting a watch symbolizes the end of a relationship. In China, the phrase sounds like attending a funeral. For centuries, a stopped clock was seen as an omen of death. Stories abound. Big Ben once slowed because of a single coin placed on its pendulum. During World War I, wristwatches became essential because checking a pocket watch could be fatal. Today, we are surrounded by invisible clocks. Phones, satellites, servers. Atomic clocks lose only 1 second over millions of years. Yet we have never felt less control over time. Here lies the final paradox. The watch was invented to measure time, but it ended up shaping how we live it. It taught us to rush, to wait, and to obey. The watch does not measure time. It measures our relationship with it. And as long as it keeps ticking, so do we.